Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to our cozy story time. Today's tale is meant for everyone, children, teenagers, and adults alike. So find a soft spot, maybe with a warm drink or a blanket, and let's slip into a gentle world together. There was once a small, cheerful village nestled between rolling green hills and a slow-moving river. The cottages were painted in pastel colors, and flower boxes overflowed with daisies, marigolds, and lavender. It was said, in this village, that luck ran in families, passing down like eye color or curly hair. One of these families was the Brightwells. For generations, their lives seemed to dance with good fortune. Rain would never fall on their outdoor picnics, lost items always returned to them, and their gardens produced the juiciest apples without fail. Even when storms swept through, their cottage somehow stood unharmed. In this generation, young Clara Brightwell carried that hereditary gift. She was gentle, shy, and always ready to help others. People in the village would smile and say, "There goes Clara, luck's favorite child." But Clara didn't see it that way. To her, the real magic wasn't in winning raffles or finding four-leaf clovers. It was in sharing her luck with others. One sunny afternoon, as Clara wandered down the cobblestone lane with her basket of apples, she noticed a boy sitting alone by the well. His clothes were patched, and his face held a tired expression. Something stirred in Clara's heart. Perhaps her family's luck had brought her to this very moment. The boy's name was Thomas. He had recently moved to the village with his grandmother, and unlike the Brightwells, his family had never known much luck. Things always seemed to go the other way. Apples falling just out of reach, shoes wearing through too quickly, rain always starting just as laundry was hung outside. Clara sat beside him, offering one of her apples. Thomas accepted shyly, and the sweetness brought a smile to his face. For Clara, it felt like sunshine. From that day on, Clara and Thomas began spending their afternoons together. They'd walk through the meadows, pick wildflowers, and listen to the river's gentle hum. And strangely enough, whenever Thomas was with Clara, his misfortune seemed to soften. The rain would pause just long enough for them to reach shelter. A kite he thought lost to the wind drifted back into his hands. Even a coin glimmered in the grass one morning, right at his feet. "Maybe your luck is catching." Thomas laughed one day as they watched ducks paddle across the sparkling pond. Clara giggled. "Maybe it's not just mine to keep." As weeks passed, the villagers noticed too. They whispered kindly about the two children, how the Brightwell gift seemed to spread whenever Clara was near. And though Thomas had once felt unlucky, he now carried a lightness in his step, as if fortune had finally turned its face toward him. One golden evening, Clara and Thomas sat beneath the old oak at the edge of the meadow. Fireflies flickered like tiny lanterns, and the stars began to twinkle in the velvet sky. "Do you think luck really belongs to certain families?" Thomas asked softly. Clara thought for a moment, then shook her head. "I think luck is just another word for kindness. When you share it, it grows." She pulled a small ribbon from her basket and tied it around his wrist. "This is to remind you that sometimes luck isn't inherited, it's given." From then on, Thomas no longer felt like misfortune's child. He and Clara grew up side by side, bringing joy and good fortune to everyone they met. Sometimes it came as a basket of ripe fruit shared with a neighbor, sometimes as a friendly smile offered on a cloudy day. And slowly, the whole village began to believe that luck wasn't a trait passed down in blood, but a gift passed from heart to heart. And so, dear listener, remember this: when you give kindness, you are giving luck too. Thank you for joining me in this gentle tale. If it warmed your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and return for more cozy stories next time. Until then, may fortune big or small find its way to you.